obscure, like people interested in weird ducks. But once you understand this target audience, you then need to understand what they're wanting to watch and create videos for them. They will be watching videos on TikTok. They'll be searching specific topics. They'll have specific questions, pain points, frustrations, things they're interested in, things that make them laugh. Can you see how if you didn't have a target audience, how exhausting it would be trying to figure that out for everybody on planet Earth? Become a master at catering to a specific group of people. Make sure they're interested in topics that you can sustainably create content for a long time on. Make sure you spend the time trying to understand what these people want and just show up and provide value to them as much as you can. Because if you want to see success on TikTok, if you just show up and provide value to a certain group of people every day, you will guarantee that. Now, of course, we're helping people do this, and we're seeing people gain thousands and thousands of followers within just a couple of weeks of joining our academy. We only have 200 spots available over the next 30 days. So if you want help growing on TikTok this year, get more consistently high views, more followers, and capitalize on the opportunities that those bring in, then click the link in our bio and we'll see you over there. Here's what's working on TikTok as of March 2025. If you're trying to grow your following, get more consistent views, and build an asset that you can monetize and spread your message with. And this is coming from someone who does this day in, day out. So I'm going to cover what's going on and the 3 things that I see are working best at the moment after working with hundreds of accounts in different niches over the last couple of months. So save this so you can come back to it later. Make sure you drop a follow for daily TikTok growth content, because we're on a mission to make sure TikTok growth is accessible to everybody, as it should be. Now, first off, views have seemed to be low across the board for a lot of people. And this has essentially been the case since the temporary ban in the US. Even though it was only banned for 12 hours, it has caused a ripple that a lot of people haven't really recovered from. The algorithm shifted quite heavily. Even if it was only for 12 hours, it had to change its focus with creators and content. So of course there's going to be a little bit of a lag. But what's quite interesting from what we've seen is that the quote-unquote hacks that worked before to get a few more views aren't really working anymore. So engaging on other people's videos to try and get some more views yourself, it isn't getting people more views anymore. Submitting directly into creator search insights doesn't give you that same initial boost as it used to. Although we've seen the top line results are still there, but just using it doesn't guarantee an increase of views. Getting your videos categorized with TikTok SEO, even though still really important, similar to creator search insights, is no longer resulting in an initial boost of views. And posting at a specific time on TikTok based on when your audience is live isn't resulting in more views. Now, obviously these hacks were never guaranteed to get more views in the long run, but it's interesting to note that the algorithms changed enough that the hacks are barely working at all. And a quick side note here, if you have to rely on hacks to get views, there's a fundamental problem there. But within the next section, we might help you discover that. So the 3 things that are working on TikTok right now are long watch times, immersing yourself in a niche, and photo content. So long watch time has always been something that worked on TikTok, but this has been something over the past couple of months. If we're looking at the analytics of a video, pretty much always guarantees the video to do really well. And it makes sense, right? TikTok wants you to keep people on the app for longer because they're going to make more money in the long run. So if your video helps them do that, then they're going to push it out to more people in the hope that it helps more people stay on the app for longer. So in order to get a long watch time, there are a few elements you need to include in your videos. First and foremost is the topic. If you cover multiple topics in one video, people are likely to jump off at some point because they're not going to be interested in all of it. Make your video about one topic, make your video have one key takeaway, and then you use some elements of storytelling to keep people around for longer. So you introduce the video very clearly, insinuating what the video is about and who the video is for, and you tee up what they're going to get from the video, then you deliver on that throughout the video. Obviously, with increasing your watch time, you can try and keep the video more constantly stimulating. People like to have the backgrounds changing, or even the captions along here gives people something to watch, so they're more likely to stay around. But 9 times out of 10, if you nail the structure of your video and your storytelling, you will get more views. And if you want me to make a video on that specifically, just comment part 2 and I'm going to get that out because it's very important to discuss. Now, secondly, something that's working really well, and this is working for ourselves and the people we're working with in our academy, but it's fully immersing yourself within your niche. And this means that you're not just creating videos for your niche or target audience, but you're spending a lot of time within the niche yourself on TikTok. So you're spending a lot of time seeing which creators are doing well in your space, which videos are doing well in your space, what searches are getting searched a lot in creator search insights, what popular searches are coming up on TikTok search. TikTok's becoming a lot more reactive and a lot more search and value driven. And the easiest way to figure out what content to make consistently that will get you higher views and more engagement is to see what people are reacting to within your niche already. But the important thing here, which is really working for a lot of people, is taking what you learn here and setting yourself apart. Doesn't matter what niche you're in, there will be something you're good at which you can lean on further to try and set yourself apart from everybody else. And just a quick note here, if you are fully immersed in your niche, you will always have a content strategy planned. You'll always know what your audience wants to see, and it will stop you relying on just one-hit wonders that a lot of people rely on to make or break their accounts. Now finally, the third thing that's working is obviously photo content. So TikTok is still pushing TikTok Notes. It's not fully rolled out everywhere yet, but essentially it's going to be Pinterest, but on another feed on TikTok. And we found, and a lot of people we're working with have found, that even old photo carousels have started to pick up with views. So lean into it. If you're creating a video on a specific topic, could you create a carousel on that topic? Experiment with it and have fun with it. Now, last month alone, we helped people gain between 10 and 20,000 followers on their profile, replace their income, get invited to TikTok events, and build something they can start monetizing. This is all done through our TikTok Academy, where we're sharing our years of knowledge and providing one-on-one support for people so they actually see results this year. We have only 200 spots available, rolling out in March. So if you want to take TikTok seriously this year, just click the link in our bio, invest in yourself and commit, and see where you are in 6 months. Here's how you get to your first 10K followers on TikTok. Whether you're brand new here or if you've been at it for a while, it's how I grew this account to its first 10K followers within the first 30 days, how we've done it for accounts previously, and how we're helping real people do the same with people in our academy, even growing by an additional 10,000 followers every single month. So I'm going to go through why 10,000 followers is important on TikTok and why it should be a goal for you. Then I'm going to explain the 2 ways you can grow on TikTok, what we'd advise from looking at hundreds of accounts that have done the same, and all the elements involved. So make sure you save this so you can come back to it later, and drop a follow for daily TikTok growth content. Now, 10,000 followers is important on TikTok because it unlocks some new features. So it allows you to earn money from your views through the Creator Rewards program. It also allows you to create playlists. And I think this is the threshold where you can start charging for subscriptions. So you're putting content behind a paywall. So it's important to get to 10K so that you can actually start monetizing a few more ways on TikTok. But more importantly, getting 10,000 engaged followers is how you get frequently high-performing videos to skyrocket your growth even further. It's like how a lot of financial people say getting your first 100K is where it really starts to ramp up. It's kind of the same play with getting your first 10K followers on TikTok. Now, if you're trying to grow on TikTok, there are 2 main ways. The first way is to just post the content you like making and hope people like it and react with it and hope people make it go viral. This is where you use every trick in the book, like using hashtag FYP, trying to post at specific times to get a few more views, jumping on trends and music and dances. And that approach can work. You're kind of just relying on luck. And if you see the people who have done it previously, there's usually another reason why. So it's usually down to something quirky in their personality or the way they look. Now, the other way to grow on TikTok, which is a little bit more difficult, but if you want 10,000 followers, it can almost guarantee to get you there within a couple of months, is this step-by-step process. And this is what we endorse. First, before you even do anything, you need to understand what you want to be known for and why you're on TikTok. So for example, I'm on TikTok on this account because I've put my 10,000 hours into understanding how TikTok works and how digital marketing works. And I want to help everybody else who want to grow some presence online do the same without having to spend thousands on a marketing agency. Now, once you figure out why you're on here and what you want to be known for, the next step is to understand who's going to watch that content. And I promise I'll tell you what you need to post, but this is important first. So this is so important because it's the people interacting on your videos which will make your videos get more views, and it's those people who will turn into followers that will help you get to 10K followers. Now, you've understood your reason, you understand roughly who you're trying to target, and I don't mean they're like rough demographics, I mean specific people with specific interests, and you're going to know more about that depending on what you want to be known for. But the third